Have you ever wondered how a single cell turns into a human being? It's a fascinating process that begins with fertilization. Picture this: a single sperm cell from the father embarks on a remarkable journey, navigating through a labyrinth of biological design until it reaches its destination, an egg cell from the mother. This sperm cell is no ordinary traveler. It carries a unique assortment of genetic material, half of what will become the blueprint for a new human life. The egg, on the other hand, holds the other half of this genetic blueprint. When these two meet, it's not just a meeting but a merging. The sperm penetrates the egg, and in that moment, their genetic material fuses. The result is a single cell known as a zygote. This zygote is the seed from which a human being can grow. It holds within it the potential for every trait, every feature, every characteristic of a new person. And so, with one fertilized cell, the journey of a new life begins. But how does this single cell grow into a complex organism, you may wonder? Well, the answer lies in two fundamental processes: cell division and differentiation. In the hours following fertilization, the single cell, now known as a zygote, begins to divide. This process, called mitosis, results in 2 cells, then 4, then 8, and so on. In just a couple of days, the zygote transforms into a compact ball of cells, known as a morula. But hold on, these cells aren't all the same. As they divide, they also differentiate. This means they start to specialize, taking on unique roles. Some will become heart cells, pulsing with life. Others will transform into brain cells, the architects of thought, and still others will form the myriad other cell types that make up a human being. While all this is happening, another significant event is taking place. The cluster of cells, now referred to as a blastocyst, begins to attach itself to the wall of the uterus in a process called implantation. This cozy nesting site will provide the nutrients and protection the developing embryo needs to grow. And grow it does, rapidly and remarkably. This mass of cells, once indistinguishable from one another, is now a differentiated, organized system. This mass of cells, now called an embryo, will continue to grow and develop, taking on a more recognizable form. It's a breathtaking journey, isn't it? So, when does this developing embryo become a fetus? This question marks the beginning of our journey into the formation of the fetus. The transition from the embryonic stage to the fetal stage is a remarkable one. This shift is marked by the development of more complex structures, such as the nervous system and the heart. During the first 8 weeks following conception, the embryo undergoes rapid growth and changes. Initially, it's as small as a poppy seed, but by the end of this period, it has grown to about an inch in length. Now imagine this. The nervous system, the first organ system to develop, begins as a tiny plate of cells. This neural plate folds in on itself to form a neural tube, which will eventually become the brain and spinal cord. This process is so intricate and precise that any disruption can lead to serious congenital conditions. Meanwhile, the heart, another early developer, starts as a simple tube-like structure. It soon begins to beat and pump an early form of blood. The sound of this tiny heart beating is the first sign of life often detected in a prenatal checkup. During this time, the formation of other organs and limbs also takes place. The fetus will develop tiny buds that will grow into arms and legs. By the end of the first month, these buds begin to form into hand and foot plates, and by the end of the second month, fingers and toes have begun to emerge. Throughout this process, the fetus is undergoing rapid growth, changing from a small cluster of cells into a recognizable human shape. It's during this period that the fetus develops all the organs and structures that will be present at birth. Every day of this stage is a marvel of nature, as cells divide, migrate, and specialize to form every part of the human body. From a single cell to a complex organism, this journey is a testament to the incredible process that is human development. By the end of the second month, the fetus has all the organs and structures that will be present at birth. This is just the beginning of the journey, but what a remarkable beginning it is. From a fetus to a newborn baby, how does this transition happen? This is a question that has fascinated humans for centuries. As we delve into the final stages of pregnancy, we embark on a journey filled with growth, maturation, and incredible changes in both the fetus and the mother's body. Let's start with the fetus. By the 3rd trimester, the fetus is fully formed and is now focused on growing and maturing. Each organ system, from the brain to the lungs, is undergoing its final stages of development. The fetus's senses are also coming alive. Its eyes can perceive light and dark, its ears can detect sounds, and it may even respond to the mother's voice or a familiar song. Meanwhile, the mother's body is going through its own transformation. The uterus, now the size of a watermelon, houses the growing fetus. The mother can feel the fetus's movements, from tiny kicks to full-on somersaults. These movements are not just a sign of life, but they also help the fetus to develop muscles and joints. As the pregnancy progresses, the mother's body begins to prepare for the grand finale, labor and delivery. Hormones trigger the softening and opening of the cervix, the contraction of the uterus, and the release of the amniotic fluid, all signs that the baby is ready to make its entrance into the world. Labor is a process that can last from a few hours to a few days. It's a dance between the mother's body and the baby, each responding to the other to facilitate birth. The mother's contractions help to push the baby down the birth canal, while the baby's movements help to position itself for birth. Finally, after much anticipation, the baby is born. It takes its first breath, cries out, and begins its life outside the womb. The journey from a single cell to a fully formed human being is complete. And so, after 9 months of growth and development, a new human being is born. This journey from conception to birth is not just a biological process, but a miracle of life that continues to astound and inspire. From a single cell to a complex human being, isn't the process of development fascinating? We've journeyed through the stages, from the miraculous start of life at fertilization, to the formation of a unique individual in the womb. We've observed the intricate steps of development, marveled at the formation of the fetus, and finally, witnessed the awe-inspiring journey to birth. Each stage a testament to the wonder of life's beginnings, and that, dear viewers, is the remarkable journey from a single cell to a newborn baby.